Once upon a time, nestled deep in a sunny, golden forest, lived a big brown bear named Barnaby. Now, Barnaby wasn't just any bear. He was the best berry picker in the whole forest. Every morning, he'd venture out with his trusty wicker basket, his nose twitching, sniffing out the plumpest, juiciest berries. He knew all the secret spots, the sun-drenched clearings where raspberries grew sweet as honey, and the cool, shady patches where blueberries were as big as his thumb. One glorious morning, Barnaby hit the berry jackpot. He found a hidden grove he'd never seen before, bursting with every kind of berry imaginable. There were strawberries gleaming like tiny red jewels, blackberries dark and mysterious, and golden gooseberries that tasted like sunshine itself. His heart did a little happy dance. He worked all day, his big paws surprisingly gentle, until his basket was overflowing. He even had to use his big floppy hat to carry more. The scent of sweet fruit trailed behind him all the way back to his cozy cave. He piled his berry treasure high on his big wooden table. It was a magnificent mountain of color and sweetness. He admired his haul, his chest puffed out with pride. "All mine," he rumbled to himself, a wide, happy grin spreading across his furry face. He couldn't wait to gobble them all up. Just then, a little knock came at his door. Tap, tap, tap. Barnaby opened it to find Squeaky the squirrel, his little tail twitching with worry. "Oh, Barnaby," Squeaky chattered. "I've been searching all day, but my nuts have all been hidden by a grumpy badger, and I can't find a single berry. My little ones are so hungry." Barnaby looked from Squeaky's worried face to his giant mountain of berries. A strange feeling pricked at him. He wanted to keep them all. They were his, after all. He had found them. "Sorry, Squeaky," he mumbled, not quite meeting the squirrel's eyes. I don't have any to spare." He quickly closed the door, leaving the little squirrel looking very sad. Barnaby sat down at his table and popped a big, perfect strawberry into his mouth. It was delicious, but somehow it didn't taste as sweet as he had expected. A little while later, another knock came. This time, it was Hoot the Owl, his wise old eyes looking tired. "Barnaby, my friend," Hoot said in his low, soft voice. "I was flying late last night and got caught in a sudden rainstorm. My wings are still a bit stiff, and I haven't had the energy to hunt. I saw your wonderful berry collection from my tree. Could you possibly share just a few to help me get my strength back?" Again, Barnaby looked at his hoard of berries. There were so many, he wouldn't even miss a few. But the thought of giving any away made him feel possessive. "I need these, Hoot," Barnaby said, a little more gruffly than he intended. For the winter." It was the middle of summer, and they both knew it. Hoot just blinked his big round eyes, nodded slowly, and flew silently away. Barnaby tried to enjoy his berries again. He ate a handful of blueberries, then a few blackberries. But with every bite, a heavy feeling settled in his tummy. It wasn't the good kind of full. It was a heavy, lonely feeling. The berries started to taste. Well, they started to taste like nothing at all. They were just watery and bland. The vibrant colors on his table seemed to dim, and his cozy cave felt strangely empty and quiet. He looked at the mountain of fruit. It wasn't a happy treasure anymore. It was just a pile of stuff. He thought of Squeaky's hungry little ones and Hoot's tired wings. His own happiness from finding the berries had completely vanished, replaced by this yucky feeling he didn't like one bit. What was the point of having all the berries in the world if they didn't make him happy? Suddenly, he knew what he had to do. His heart felt a little lighter just thinking about it. He grabbed 2 smaller baskets and began to fill them. He scooped up handfuls of the best strawberries for Squeaky, his family, and a generous portion of energy-rich blackberries and blueberries for Hoot. He hurried out of his cave, his paws moving much faster now. First, he went to Squeaky's tree. "Squeaky," he called out. The little squirrel peeked out, looking surprised. "I'm so sorry," Barnaby said, holding up the basket. "I was being selfish. I have more than enough berries, and I would be honored to share them with you and your family." Squeaky's eyes widened, and he broke into a huge, chattering grin. "Oh, Barnaby, thank you. You're the kindest bear in the forest." The little squirrel family cheered from inside the tree, and Barnaby's heart did another little dance, this time a much happier one. Next, he flew well. He ran over to Hoot's old oak tree. He found the owl perched on a low branch, looking glum. "Hoot," Barnaby said, a little out of breath. "I brought you something to help you get your strength back." "I should have shared right away." Hoot looked at the basket of dark, juicy berries and then at Barnaby. A slow, wise smile spread across his beak. "Thank you, Barnaby," he hooted softly. A shared berry is always the sweetest. Barnaby walked back to his cave, his empty basket swinging at his side. The sun seemed brighter, the flowers smelled sweeter, and the forest felt friendlier than ever. When he got back to his cave, he looked at his now smaller pile of berries. He took one, a simple raspberry, and popped it in his mouth. It was an explosion of flavor. It was the most delicious, sweet, and wonderful berry he had ever tasted in his entire life. It tasted like sunshine, friendship, and the joy of a happy heart. He realized Hoot was right. The berries hadn't been bland because they were bad berries. They were bland because he was eating them all alone. From that day on, Barnaby was still the best berry picker in the forest. But he was also known as the best berry sharer. He learned that having a lot of something isn't what makes you happy. True happiness, he discovered, comes from sharing what you have with the friends who make your world a wonderful place. And every berry he shared made the ones he kept for himself taste that much sweeter.